Hi there, Elise Dewsberry here from New Musicals Inc. with the 37th installment in my monthly vlog, How to Get No Feedback from Elise. I can't believe that I've finished 3 years now and moving into the 4th year. And I actually wanted to step back for a moment and use one of these sessions to chat with you and see how I'm doing and what else you would like from me. I want to say thank you for the 3 years and for the growing viewership and for the feedback that I have gotten from people telling me that they're appreciating what I'm putting out there. So I want to encourage you to please feel free to comment, to let me know if there are topics that you would like me to address, things that I haven't addressed, or things that you disagree with that I've talked about that you want to, or just things you want to hear about more in depth. I'd be thrilled to have you let me know that. I've done 36 of these, so I've covered a lot of topics. Let's see, I have somewhere here a list. I wanted to just really quickly go through the list of topics that I've covered in case you haven't seen all 36 of them before today, so you can get an idea, and then you could let me know, do you want me to revisit any of these? Do you want me to go into any more depth? Do you have other areas that you want me to cover? So let's see, I started talking about the theme of your show, and then your lead character and goals, then the logic of your plot, including the importance of an outline and the rules of your universe. I talked about different narrative points of view. I did a little mini-series on structure, about framing devices, flashbacks, a linear, nonlinear timeline, 1 or 2 acts, that sort of thing. I did a session on a warning from your dramaturg, rules for writing an outline and how to get the best use out of it. I talked about the old adage of show, don't tell. I pontificated about my feelings about keeping secrets in musicals. Check that one out, because I talked about musical biographies and the pitfalls, potential pitfalls of those. I urged you to think about, why are you telling this story and why now? I talked about how to deal with feedback when you get feedback from people, either from me or from other people. I talked about the different ways that you can answer a question that comes up in feedback, making it go away, acknowledging it, answering it. I talked about, I got into some sort of the nuts and bolts of things like stage directions, transitions. I talked about the rough draft of your show. Talked about the work of a scene. I did a mini-series, a 5-part mini-series on the moment before, exposition, plot, and action, pointing forward, planting seeds, laying pipe, pursuit of goals, all that kind of stuff. I talked about song spotting as a function of book. I talked about the power of the song. I talked about 3 particular types of songs that I'm not too fond of: the I Am song, the Merry Villager song, and clearing the stage for a solo song. I encouraged you to think like a director or a producer or an actor, to think like one but not for them. I did a mini-series on character development that included character diction, exposition, fifth business, being funny but true comedy, and being active in your own fate. And then most recently, I just finished with a 6-part series on what I called assignments. Now, what's interesting is that I recorded these earlier in 2020, before any of us had any idea what was going to happen in the rest of 2020. As it has turned out, I think it turned out to be sort of prescient in a way, because what it did was I gave a series of assignments for you to deal with that one would hope you could do while you were locked down or in isolation or otherwise unable to go about your regular business because of the pandemic. So I gave you assignments to look at your own musical and review them in the arenas of character diction, character identification, transitions, the beat after the song, the tense, present tense versus past tense, and pronouns, and that brought us to the end of year 3. So I'd love to know if you want more of any of those specific areas, or if you have new ideas that you'd like me to cover. I'd also love to know if there's another way you'd like me to deliver this. I'm just sitting in my office with a webcam and a microphone and recording this on a simple program. I'm not green screening. I'm not doing fancy lighting, and I'm delivering this primarily through Facebook. It is also available on YouTube and on a blog on my website. Some people have requested that I try to get it organized into a podcast. I'm willing to consider that. I'd love to hear back from people if you feel like, or what platform would you prefer it? What would make it easier for you to keep up with it and enjoy it and recommend it to others? So this is my way of saying thank you for 3 years. Please tell me what you'd like going forward, and I look forward to continuing the conversation. Thanks, and toodaloo.